Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to another Christmas episode of my Christian Music Weekly Reviews. Each week during the Christmas season, I take 5 Christian Christmas releases, be it albums, EPs, or singles, and after I'm listening to them all week, I come back here and I review them. I share what I think about them. So without further ado, let's get to this week's first release. Michael W. Smith's new EP, Christmas at Home. Michael W. Smith's new EP, Christmas at Home. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good EP here. Stylistically, definitely on the contemporary and classical side of things, with some degree of softer pop influence as well here. And there's also some choral vocals on here in addition to Michael's vocals, and there are a few songs that are pretty much on the instrumental, classical side of things. Again, I found this EP to be pretty good. I'm not normally much of a classical listener, but I found this EP to be a pretty good one. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too. Michael W. Smith talks about how he wants to joyfully celebrate with the love of his family before they grow up. God coming in his grace and love to be with us in Christ's birth to redeem us. Up next, Brandon Heath's new single featuring Tasha Layton, God Made a Way. Brandon Heath's new single featuring Tasha Layton, God Made a Way. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good single here. Pretty good collaboration between Brandon Heath and Tasha Layton. Brandon Heath sings in the first verse, Tasha sings in the second verse, and then they both sing together in the bridge. Stylistically here, definitely a contemporary folk pop feel with a worshipful bridge. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here. Kind of like how Brandon Heath recounts what must have been going through Mary and Joseph's head on the night of Jesus' birth. And then Tasha talks about what the shepherds and the wise men must have been thinking on the night of Jesus' birth. I particularly like the lyrics still of the bridge. The worshipful bridge is definitely my favorite part of this song. And overall, I would say the message of the song is about worshiping God for how, in his love, he miraculously did what he had to do to make a way for us to be saved by giving up his son Jesus in a manger in Bethlehem. Really love the lyrics to this song. Up next, Newsong's new EP, Christmas All Over the World. Newsong's new EP, Christmas All Over the World. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good EP here. Stylistically, definitely a little bit different on each song, I would say. Christmas All Over the World has a really upbeat pop rock feel to it. One Holy Night has kind of a contemporary worship ballad feel, and I would say some degree of pop rock elements here as well. And then 5 Little Fingers of God, which features a guest appearance from Francesca Battistelli, has kind of a contemporary jazz ballad feel to it. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too. New song talks about joyfully celebrating and praise how God in his sacrificial love came down from heaven as a man in his son Jesus to die to save us free and resurrect to defeat death, just as he promised. Up next, Tasha Layton's new album, This Is Christmas. Tasha Layton's new album, This Is Christmas. Let's dive into it. So, pretty good album here. Stylistically, definitely a mix of jazz, contemporary, pop, and worship elements. I would say with a particular emphasis on the first 3. There's definitely some upbeat moments, which is where the jazz sound, I feel like it's emphasized. And then there are some ballad moments as well, which gets to show more of the contemporary side. And as for the lyrics here, pretty good lyrics here too. Tasha Layton talks about how she is wearing herself out at Christmas, giving the hope and love of how God came to be with us in Christ's birth to save us free from sin into peace to those who are lonely this Christmas. But she looks forward to celebrating Christmas with the love of her family, and where Santa makes good kids happy by giving them toys in their stockings and gives naughty kids nothing but coal because they really misbehaved this year. Up next, our last release for today, Dream Label Group's Christmas sampler, Dream Christmas, Volume 7. Dream Label Group's Christmas sampler, Dream Christmas Volume 7. Let's dive into it. Before I do, let me just kind of explain how to find the tracks on this sampler. So, the tracks on this sampler are nowadays more released as individual singles, and the sampler this year includes Future's double single, This Christmas, and Joy, All Creatures single, God Be With Us, 2911 Worship single, Prepare Him Room, and Joe Bond's single, Love Is Come. Now that I explained how to find the music on this sampler, let's dive into my thoughts on the sampler itself. So, pretty good sampler here. Stylistically, definitely on the worship side of things. Definitely moves away from the pop sound of their past samplers, which we kind of started seeing this transition, I think, real strongly, in particular last year. But this sampler goes all the way towards the worship side of things. I do miss the pop sounds of their past samplers, just because there were some really good songs to come from that. But I definitely also enjoyed the worship sound on this newer sampler. And the worship sound comes with pop and alternative elements as well here. And as for the lyrics here, love the lyrics here. They talk about joyfully focusing our hearts in praise this Christmas. I love that thought, praise being the focus, for how God in His love came to be with us in His Son Jesus to redeem us from sin into His forever reign of peace through His sacrifice on the cross. And I like this part as well, how we need to give Him our all to share the good news, to share this good news with others. I love that dual focus of worship and evangelism here in the lyrics on this sampler. Well, that's it for this week. Come back next week for 5 more Christian Christmas releases for the last Christmas show of the year. If you like what you saw in this video, please subscribe. Put up videos every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Also, if you have any thoughts on today's releases or what anyone have said about them, let me know down in the comments below. Also, in the comments, you can let me know if there's any awesome Christian Christmas releases that you want to see in my last Christmas video of the year. Also, in the comments, in addition to that, you can let me know if there's any awesome, not-so-Christmassy releases, not-so-Christmassy Christian releases that have come out while I've been doing Christmas music that you want to see in a video I'm doing after Christmas, where I do 5 releases I missed while doing Christmas music. Also, check out the playlist section for my Music Month and Dreams playlist, available here on YouTube and also on Spotify. In this month's edition of the playlist, featuring my most streamed Christmas songs from last year, includes songs from artists like Jordan St. Cyr, Stephen McWhirter, Mana, Caroline Cobbs, and others. So go and check that out if you're interested. Well, go now. Merry Christmas. See you next week for the last Christmas show of the year. Bye.